Alright class, so here's part 2 tutorial to the tools. So as you'll see, I just have another blank canvas here. We left off with the lasso tool last time. I'm not really going to show you the pen tool because we shouldn't use it too much in this class, but just understand that the pen tool basically draws these very calculated lines. So if I give it a starting point, a vector point, it will connect them based on where I draw those lines and connect them. So pretty simplistic. Please notice that the line that I have selected is very, very ugly. So we'll go ahead and just get rid of all that. Text tool is pretty simplistic. You can click on the text tool. You can click, drag, and type. Your text goes here. Once you've done that, you have all of these options in the property. You can change the font size to 30 or 90 or whatever. Pretty basic. It's pretty much what we've been doing in this class all year anyway. You can change the color, be whatever color you want. And there's a bunch of other stuff here, centering it, putting it in the middle, etc. So you can go ahead and play with that, but for the most part, we shouldn't use this too much. I will tell you that if you click the corners of the box, just like usual, you can always shrink things in, expand them down, expand them out in the corners. Okay, so you got lots of options there. Let's go ahead and get rid of these. All right. Moving on, the line tool. Line tool is very, very basic. Shortcut on that is N. Don't ask me why. Probably because L was already used for lasso. So line tool is click, drag, and draw straight lines. Okay, so for whatever you wanted to do, play tic-tac-toe. It's a horrible tic-tac-toe. But the point is what I can do if I decided that I messed up with my horrible tic-tac-toe here is I can, with the line tool selected, I can actually click on the line and I can add, or if I go back to my selection or my move tool, I can click on the line, missed it, click on the line, and I can adjust it if I chose. So I can pull these things up. Oops, didn't mean to grab the corner there. And straighten that one out. I can straighten that one out. I'd have to select the move tool to move that one. But then once I did, I'll show you that next. Let's try a third time. Click it, there we go. And I could put it back in the middle there. I can move that one down and get a sort of better line. So that's pretty much the way that the line tool works. Now what's kind of cool with this is if you wanted, and you had a nice straight line, and let's say you wanted to manipulate this to look different. Well, you have a couple options. You can click on the line on the corner with your selection tool, and you can change where it goes by grabbing the end of it. You can change the size of it, okay? Or you can grab anywhere along the line and manipulate it out so that you get more of a angular type of line. All right. And then the last one I'm going to show you is how to make breaks. So on your keyboard, if you hold the Option key and then click, you can make a little point in that line, and wherever you click, it will create a little break. You can make this little zigzaggy, Picasso-y type thing. So lots of options with the line tool on what to do with it. All right, so there is that. Let's go ahead and get rid of those. Now, probably my favorite tool is the oval tool, the shape tool. All right, so if you click on the little corner, you've got a couple options: rectangular, oval, rectangular, primitive, oval, primitive, and polygonal tool. For the most parts of this class, we're going to use these two, rectangular and oval. So we'll go ahead and click the oval tool, And you'll notice that you just click and draw shapes. So with the oval tool selected, you can draw all kinds of shapes. What I will share with you is that when you draw a shape, you get the properties box that opens up. Now each shape has two parts. It has what's called the fill and the stroke. Okay, so if I select this circle, for example, actually let's take this smaller circle here. If I select this smaller circle right now, I have the fill selected, and if I click it, I can separate the fill from the stroke. Okay, and this makes sense because a stroke is like what you would have drawn with the paintbrush tool, and the fill is what you would have used to, well, fill it in with the paintbrush, or I'm sorry, the paint bucket tool. So you have those two different options there. Now notice that they can move independent of each other. So if I want to move that one, I want to move that one, I want to move that one, I can do this. Okay, I can move each piece on its own. Now if you want to end up moving pieces together, then what you need to do is use the selection tool or the free transform tool and select the piece so that they move together. Okay, so keep that in mind that if you don't have the whole thing selected, they will move independent of each other, and that may or may not be what you want. Now you can change the colors of these simply by clicking on here, clicking on the little paint bucket there, changing the color. You can also change the color of the stroke by clicking on the stroke and changing the color there. If you want to make it thicker, okay, you can do that. Looks a little funky, but you could. And if you wanted to change the actual composition of the line, make it dashed or something, you could do that. So lots of different options here. Again, basically you're going to be using mostly color, stroke, and style for that. Don't worry about too much of the rest of the stuff. It shouldn't really pertain much to you. Alright, so that is that. And then I'm just going to show you the eraser tool because, well, it's pretty simplistic. Just like in Photoshop, you click, you drag, you erase. You can make this bigger. What I will tell you is if you notice that as I go off of my little canvas, it will erase as well. But when I unclick, it disappears. That's because if I decided to move this up here, I could do that, and then with my eraser tool, I could erase that part of it that's above the line if I didn't mean for it to go up there for some reason. So just keep in mind that the eraser tool will erase both inside the canvas and outside the canvas. Alright, so those are a couple more tools for you to play around with. Go ahead and do so, and look for my next video.